16 teams all vying for one trophy. The season of the Start Times Uganda Premier League season 2023-2024 is back, and all lovers of football across Uganda and the entire world are happy. Ladies and gentlemen, every frown, every smile, and every kick of the water bottle by the coaches will all be determined by the pressure and the tension that is brought by the beautiful game. Welcome one and all to the best sports show on the land, and this is Chikoni TV. Welcome for the sports dinner. I am Godson Ochira, your host, and I'm here with the writer of Free Kick 442. He is also the CEO of Sports 24/7. Gentlemen, I am so happy to have you on the show today. We are going to be digesting a lot of things. We're going to be speaking simply sports.
Yes, as my colleague Godson has just introduced me, my name is Moises Ronald, and I do co-host this show with Mr. Godson, and it is called the Sports Dinner, your favorite sports show. Today we are also going to be looking at just right now the Confederation of African Football has just announced that East African 3 teams or countries, that is Uganda, Tanzania and Kenya, will be hosting AFCON 2027. We are going to be giving you the details, so just get a cup of coffee and be on our show. It's called the Sports Dinner.
Well, as if that is not enough, we're also going to be digesting some shocking transfer news that you never thought would ever happen in the history of Uganda Premier League. Alan Okoye made a shocking transfer from KCCA to Vipers Sports Club. Of course, there were rumors and speculations surrounding that transfer, and I want to assure you that if you thought that would happen, then I don't know which world you live in. I mean, these are two clubs that are rivals. Last season, towards the end, Vipers Sports Club took the trophy from the hands of KCCA and Sports Club Villa. That rivalry is heating up and renewing itself each and every day. But let's start with the big news. Just broken this afternoon that the East Africa Pamoja bid has won its a chance to host AFCON 2027. Pole pole ndimoyendo, tukeshike pamoja tutajifika. You have some Tanzanian words you want to tell me? You have some Kiswahili in your vocabulary?
Of course, no.
Okay, let us dive straight into the heart of the matter. What does that mean for Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania? This is going to be the first time in the 70+ years of African Cup of Nations. Africa is going to come to East Africa for the very first time. What does this mean for East Africa?
Of course, for these 3 countries, we are looking at countries, of course, Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania, who have never won the AFCON tournament.
Yes.
This is a chance. We have seen most of the times that the hosting nations have been succeeding in winning these trophies. Looking at Uganda, we have not made it to the last 2 editions of the AFCON tournament.
Yes.
In 2023, we failed to qualify to the 2024 AFCON that is going to be in Ivory Coast. But this will be our chance in 2027. We know that Nambole will be done. And looking at even other stadiums, St. Mary's Tender is there, Nachivo Stadium is there, Akibua Stadium is there. This is a chance for these countries, especially Uganda, at least to show the supporters that this time round they can win the trophy. It is the same way to, of course, Tanzania and Kenya.
Yes.
They have to show that since they are the hosts, they have to take the trophy this time round.
Exactly.
And all eyes are going to be on these 3 nations, Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania.
For those who may not know what this exactly means, for these 3 East African countries, well, these 3 East African countries earn themselves an automatic qualification to participate in the African Cup of Nations 2027. What a dream. Something that started just like a drop of an idea now becomes a reality when the 3 presidents of the federations of football associations of the different 3 countries came together and thought, why don't we submit a bid that will bring football to East Africa?
Actually, most of the fans in those 3 countries never thought that it can be a success. And even here in Uganda, we were shocked because we don't have any stadium that right now has been that has been that qualifies for the CAF standards. Exactly. We have been hosting our games in different countries like Morocco, Algeria, and Egypt.
Yes. Exactly. And what people don't know is that CAF does not give the hosting opportunities to countries because of the current realities.
Yes.
they look at the plans. What kind of plans does a country have to host this, African Cup of Nations? Uganda, and Kenya, and Tanzania submitted a very good plan that is going to see the three countries having, each country having the three stadiums, Uganda having three stadiums, standard, CAF standard, meets CAF standards. Then Tanzania will also have three stadiums that will meet CAF standards, and the same with Kenya. That is going to be a very big milestone. I don't know what you think as a viewer about this particular, African Cup of Nations opportunity that Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania have got. You can keep your comments coming. Our comment section is wide open. We would love to engage with you. Towards the end of the show, definitely we shall be able to read what your comments are like. But yeah, that is good news. I think we are seeing celebrations. I saw the former president, Justus, and the vice president, Justus Mugisha, and also the spokesperson, that Mr. Rogers Mulinda. They were celebrating. By the way, also the deputy speaker, that is Mr. Thomas Laeba, and the state minister for sports, Peter Gwang, were in Cairo, Egypt, and they were all very happy and thrilled about this announcement.
Because I can also tell you that this is really a huge milestone. Looking at, we are competing with countries like Egypt, Botswana, in hosting this AFCON.
What about Algeria?
Of course, and Algeria,
yeah.
But Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania have made it.
Indeed.
Of course, the fans will be waiting to watch, of course, different players outside there.
Players that we have been watching on TV, on screens, yes. We will have an opportunity to begin rearing that goat or keeping those cows, because you need to save money and watch the final wherever it is going to be, ladies and gentlemen. But well, let us keep consuming. We're all happy that we have got the bid. Let's talk briefly about the transfer window that was very hot. We saw some Brazilians coming to KCCA and also Vipers. But the most shocking news is not the inception of Brazilians in our league. Yes. It is the transfer of Alan Okello going from KCCA to Vipers. If you tell me you ever saw that coming, I will declare you a liar. Did you see that coming?
Of course I did not see it. Because here in Uganda and our transfer window, most of the times it has not been dominated by players coming from a team like KCCA and of course going to Vipers.
Exactly.
It was really shocking news because it was not expected.
Yes.
This is a boy or a talented midfielder who said goodbye to KCCFC and went back to...
He was a darling to
yes,
KCCA.
Yes.
That is what makes it...
Because even looking at last season, he was one of the best performers at KCCFC. And he paved a goodbye message to KCCFC fans, and he went back to Algeria, of course, to Parado FC.
Yes.
But only 3 months later, he resigned.
They mutually
agreed to terminate his contract.
Yeah,
and he was back in Uganda.
We are seeing he's in Uganda, but
most of us we thought that at least he would be going to the neighboring countries, maybe Kenya and Tanzania. But unfortunately, the shocking news arrived last week that he was going at a Viper Sports Club.
You're saying it is unfortunate, but Vipers fans think it is very fortunate. It's a very big piece of news. This deal was really worth it. I think if it were you, you would still choose Vipers over KCCA. Dr. Lawrence Mulinda, who is the patron of Vipers Sports Club, has offered to treat his knee problem.
Yes.
He has given him a car and $30,000, which is equal to 113 million Ugandan shillings. Who would refuse that deal? And
actually, most of the fans are saying that, especially the rivaling fans, they are saying that Mr. Lawrence Mulinda is splashing money like nothing. Because they are saying, how can a player who has just come in with a knee injury, giving him a 3-year contract, and of course he's going to spend 1 year off the field treating his knee injury. But of course you have to trust Dr. Lawrence Mulinda.
Exactly. Now this is a player, the player of Okello's type is a player we have seen. Yes. We saw him develop from the Academy of KCCA. We saw what he could do until when he got that move to Parado FC. Yes. Now, a player who is not good cannot get good offers and good deals, especially to leave the country and play outside of the country. I think Dr. Lawrence Mulinda is not looking at the short-term goal.
Yes.
He's looking at what Alan Okello can become when he's 24, 25, 26 and the years to come.
Because this is the guy who is just below 22.
Exactly. So it is about being, long-sighted. You're not supposed to just look just at the doorstep. You need to look ahead as far as football is concerned. Ladies and gentlemen, we could discuss sports all day, all evening, and all night. But it is because of time that we do everything in this world. We need to put